It's on! Hey everybody, welcome to Disney Parks Talk Live, coming to you at a different time, a different day, on a Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, coming to you with a different crew. And I'll introduce you in a moment. My name is Doobie Mosley, co-founder of Laughing Place, the guy always in this position. The lady to my left is my talented, beautiful wife, Rebecca.
Hey everybody, good morning.
The man below me is the one who's always here, our vice president of taking pictures in water parks, Jeremiah Good.
Good morning.
And the new member of our team, not Mike Celestino, who is on assignment. I think he's at a beer fest. Wow, tough gig today. We've got Kyle Burbank, managing editor of Laughing Place, and the person we bring in whenever we want to make sure we're 100% accurate, which tells you about the rest of our shows.
He needs to be on the show every time now.
And
the ombudsman for this episode.
And wow, we are happy to be bringing you a show this morning because we have some big news to talk about, and that is
Universal Horn. Oh,
no. So we're going to spend most of today's show talking about the big breaking news this morning. We'll cover a couple other topics, but the big news, of course, is at long last, our national nightmare is over. Disneyland has decided to tell all you Magic Key holders exactly how you can renew your pass. It's a little later than you expected, because that 30-day window's been here for a bit, but it's here. All the panic can ease down. Renewals are happening. You can still renew. Prices are not astronomical. Terms. Okay, no problem. Thanks. Terms are maybe not favorable, but doable. So you're good. You can go.
Okay. This is what happens when you reschedule.
And Doobie is at work. So let's get started with the Magic Key. Who wants to? Rebecca, you have the nicest voice here. Why don't you? Okay, Kyle.
No, it's fine. No, I'm fine. I just wasn't expecting it. That's all.
Why don't you give us a brief overview? Not a whole lot of detail, but tell us the gist of what's going on with Magic Key renewals. Oh, I should also add, we have all the deets. So if anyone out there has any questions whatsoever, we will get you an accurate answer.
Or we think we have all the dates until you ask a question we were not prepared for.
We will give you an accurate answer. We will find out an accurate answer for later, or we will make up an inaccurate answer. But either way, you will get an answer. So please use those comments for your questions. All right, go ahead, Rebecca.
There are 4 keys. You guys jump in if I make any mistakes.
There are 5? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
There are 4 Magic Key levels.
Safety.
We have the Imagine Key, which we've had previously. We have the Enchant Key, which we've had previously. The Believe Key, which we've had previously, but now they have introduced the Inspire Key, and they have dropped the Dream Key. So we are no longer dreaming. We are now inspired. Yes, Jeremiah.
The Inspire Key that inspires you to go to the bank. A lot.
It's not that much more money.
$150 is a bit more for people.
Isn't it 200 more? Yeah, 200 more.
Yeah.
But they're saving you from going to the park on certain days, so it's really a benefit.
And you get parking and photo pass.
All right, so sorry, continue, Rebecca.
So this is the chart that our team prepped based on the information, and you can see that we have price increases across the board.
Refresh that page.
And what'd you say?
So
yeah,
refresh that page.
Thank you. And and I asked Juby to reformat the table and then forgot to refresh the page so it would look prettier. And we also have the Dream Key is discontinued, and you can see the various differences between them. Where do you guys want to go? Do we want to? Doobie, I'll let you take it from here.
All right. So it essentially, Imagine, Enchant, Believe, they're essentially the same, just with some price increases, some minor feature changes, but essentially the same. The Blockout Dates seem to be essentially the same. You can see the price increases there. Imagine, which is the SoCal Pass only, has gone up $50. The Enchant Key also $50. The Believe Key has gone up $150, and that's probably the key that I think most people will get. It includes almost every day. What were there, Rebecca? I think 21 blockout days.
Inspire, there were
for Believe.
Oh, for Believe had 43 actually.
Sorry, 43 blockout days, but those really are spring break, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and some
Halloween.
Saturdays.
And
Halloween, yeah, some Saturdays and Halloween, not the whole
Yeah.
period, but some Saturdays. So
Yeah.
Belief Key really is going to suffice for, I think, the bulk of the Disney annual pass holders base, except for those people who want to go to the park every day, which is no longer an option because the Inspire Key has 21 blackout days from this December 21st through January 1st. So whatever
Nope.
number of days that is.
Oh, did
Sorry.
you just say 21 blockout days?
Oh.
I can't count, but
Sorry.
it goes from December 21st to January 1st.
12.
12. That period is
On
blocked
the
out from
first
Inspire.
day of blockout.
There is no longer a pass. This is probably the biggest takeaway for us diehards. There is no longer a pass that permits you to go to the theme parks every single day of the year, reservation notwithstanding. I do believe you can still join Club 33 if you wish. That's always an option. Get yourself on the waiting list. Stop complaining. But other than that, no longer an option.
And one of the elements that people are going to be paying attention to is the parking aspect. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jeremiah. So that is included with the Inspire Key.
Yes, it's included with the Inspire Key. Otherwise, you get a discount that ranges from 25% to 50% in select lots. Even the Inspire Key, by the way, is select lots, which what do we think that means? It can vary on a daily basis?
I think
What are you talking about, Believe?
The select lots.
My understanding is that's the parking. The way it was described in the fine print, I have the impression it means just not downtown Disney. It's the theme park structures and Toy Story lot. I didn't get the impression from the verbiage that will shift and adjust, but whereas. So
I think you're right.
Kyle.
Like it used to. I looked at the old one. It did say theme park parking included, so that wouldn't exclude downtown Disney. But I think they're probably just being a little extra careful with their verbiage this time around.
Really interesting that they're making that choice. So that's the big thing. And then, very, very important. This was announced today. You can actually renew your pass on Thursday. So on Thursday,
if you're in your window.
If you're in your window, if you're in your 30-day window.
And if you're out of your window, you can
And
call.
if your pass already expired, like if you had a one-day ticket that you ended up upgrading to a Magic Key, and so technically your pass is expired, you're able to call Disney between the 18th and the 31st of August, and they will help you renew.
And the reason is between the 18th and 31st is you'll be on hold for the 18th to the 31st.
You're literally, no. So yeah, those few people who, through that weird quirk of upgrading already expired, you can renew starting on the 18th, but you have to do it by phone. Anybody else in their 30-day window can start on August 18th. So I guess if you expire September 17th or before, you can start renewing on August 18th. Renew obviously on Disneyland.com. We had a question here about whether or not you can use Disney Rewards redemption cards or a Disney gift card on your renewal. I think Disneyland.com takes Disney gift cards. I do not know about reward redemption cards. So that this is already one of those questions we thought we'd be able to answer and can't. But
I would suggest going to the guest relations booth because I happen to know skywalking through Neverland is pretty close to the parks and they go to Disneyland often. So it may be easier just to go to the guest relations window outside of Disneyland and take care of that one.
But for most people, you're going to be renewing online, Disneyland.com on Thursday, no earlier than 9 a.m., which is terminology we've seen before, meaning it may not be ready till 10, it may not be ready till 11, but it surely ain't going to be ready before 9.
It means they're going to try to launch it at 9, but we all know how these things go.
And
they'll launch it at 9, and then at 9:01,
it'll crash, and then they'll have it back up.
It's also been made clear that these 4 keys are currently available for renewal. It may not be the case that all 4 of these keys will always be available for renewal. Depending on demand, they may need to stop renewals at some of the keys, which brings up another point. You can renew into any level. You can renew to the same level. You can renew up. You can renew down. If you're currently a Dream Key, you have no choice but to renew down, even though you may be paying up. But you can renew at any level. And it is possible that some of these keys will not be available at some point in the future. It is also possible that at some point in the future, none of these keys will be available. So, I mean, we really did want to find out, is it possible that when it comes time for you to renew, when you reach your 30-day window, that there will be no renewals available? Yes, it is a possibility. So I would not suggest you wait. I wouldn't wait. Once my 30-day window got there, if I saw the pass I wanted was available, I would go grab it.
Yep. That's always the case with Disney. You should always, if you're at that point, do it, because buy merchandise, renew, buy your annual pass.
But annual passes, that wasn't always the case. There was a time when APs always stayed available, and you could renew. I always renewed on the last day because I'm poor and I don't want to spend before I have to. But now I would renew 30 days, get it done.
I was in the pre-monthly payments phase too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that I wanted to be sure people were aware of is if you are far away from your renewal window and you're wondering, well, what does this mean for me? I see some of these newer benefits coming in. Those benefits will apply to your current. If you are, let's say you're a Dream Key holder right now, you will receive the benefits that they've listed of the discount on Genie Plus, the photo pass benefit. It will apply to your pass until your pass is expired. So you can look at the levels and you can see what are some of the newer benefits that you're going to be receiving until your pass expires, and then you renew. Obviously, then you'll you'll continue with it. But
starting on
new benefits. Go ahead.
Starting on August 18th. So don't go today expecting to get 20% off Genie Plus. That starts. That starts on August 18th on Thursday. And let's talk about those benefits. You get every pass level now gets 20% off Genie Plus. Now gets the two highest keys, Believe and Inspire, get PhotoPass downloads, which is nothing to laugh at. I love that benefit. So, and then parking is still fully included for the Inspire key, for the highest key, which is the Inspire key now. And then the Believe key gets 50% off, the Enchant key 25% off at Toy Story only, and the Imagine key gets 20% off because my thing is not scrolling right at also 25% off at Toy Story lot only, which is the best lot to park in. Reservation counts stay the same, 2, 4, 6, and 6 from lowest to highest. Monthly pay is still available for everyone in California, right? For all passes in California, for California residents, and the SoCal monthly pay also only available for SoCal residents. And yes, these renewals are only available. Only renewals are available. You still cannot buy a new pass. So if you don't already have an annual pass, you still aren't going to get an annual pass. Yes, that is it, Gio.
Sadly.
So, yeah, yay to those discounts. All right. What else should we touch on, Kyle, Jeremiah? Thoughts, analysis, in-depth?
I mean, I don't think it's that big of a change. This is actually kind of what I expected the first time around, as far as having a pass that has some blockout dates.
Yeah.
I'm betting they wish that they did go that route the first time around. But yeah, I'm not really surprised to see that is no more. But I do think, I know that there's people that want to go on New Year's Eve and Christmas, but I mean, it was always. It's not the most enjoyable time to go anyway, given how busy it is. So.
But on the flip side, now could be the most enjoyable time to go.
Well, I mean, but even before, like
passes,
back in the days of like the premium pass, like it was still packed. It's not. I don't think there was that many people with the premier or with the top tier pass, the no blockout dates, that could go on New Year's Eve. And that's what the problem was. So I think it'll still be just as busy. It'll just be people who paid exorbitant prices for that 6th tier. Whatever price that is for a one-day ticket.
I want to bring up Janelle's question because I want to clarify something. I do not believe that it would be accurate to, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, to say that Believe has been renamed. Believe is an announced tier that has existed previously. So we had a Believe tier with the 2021 announcement. We still have a Believe tier. The benefits between that has not changed. The price has increased. However, what has changed is that we had a Dream Key. It included 365-day access via reservations, along with free parking. That tier has expired and will be expiring for people. Do you guys know, since Dream is no longer being offered with the renewals, people who have that Dream Key, they're still going to receive the benefits that they had after the 18th, right? Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
So the Dream Key will continue to have their Dream Key benefits until their Dream Key expires. However, now moving forward, there is no longer a Dream Key. there is now what is being called the Imagine key, and the Inspire key. Thank you, Inspire key, and its benefits are here. It is you can have 6 park reservations. I added a teen. 6 park reservations at a time. It includes theme park parking. You get 20% off merchandise, 15% off food, and you get photo pass. You get 20% off Disney Genie, but it does have blockouts, and I believe that there's about 12.
December
12
21st through January 1st.
It's December 21st through January 1st. So that's what previously the top tier was a different name, different benefits. The top tier now for Disneyland Magic Key is Inspire Key, and this is the pricing and options that are included with it.
And so that hurts me. Skywalking through Neverland just made a mention. One Christmas, my husband and I had a great morning opening presents, then turned to each other and said, want to go to Disneyland. We went and had a lovely eating. We missed that flexibility. Me too. It was very common for me back in my younger day to go to Disneyland on Christmas Day, to go New Year's Eve, to go a lot during that week. To go on New Year's Day, I did not even try to go on any rides, just hung out, ate, watched parades, whatever. I mean, it's a crowded time, but it's a fun time. And were I still a Magic Key holder and still 20 years younger, I would greatly miss that. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that are going to be sad that's gone. But, that's what Disney wants. Disney wants people there who are there on vacation more than they want just an AP who's there to take up space, especially as much as I take up. Yes, Jeremiah.
One of the things also is, something that they've done in the past is the Magic additional days. So if Christmas Day isn't selling out, which Christmas Day usually isn't that busy, they can always add that as an option later on. And my other question is, when did they stop selling all the passes? Do we remember that date?
They went one by one, but I don't remember when they finally stopped selling all of them. Yes, Rebecca?
No. I was just going to say that they kind of went tier by tier, with, I believe, the first one selling out October after the August announcement. I believe we saw that first tier close down in October of
May
that
31st
year.
Was when the last one.
And then the following May is when it was totally. Thank you, Tony Betty coming in too.
Tony Betty, yeah. And what's interesting to think about this, and I mean, this has been the case, it's now been a year since Disneyland started selling annual passes. So all we have now is renewals. And so the number of pass holders can only go down. Obviously, there will be no new annual pass holders. And certainly there are going to be some people who don't renew. The number of pass holders will steadily go down by, I don't know if it's, by 1% a month, 10% a month. I have no idea, but it's going to steadily go down. So it will be interesting to see at some point, do they bring back purchasing new passes, or are they waiting for this to get to a very, very low level? But that's just something that's interesting to keep in mind, that since there's only renewals, there are not new annual pass holders coming from here on out until they announce new passes. It's only the number is steadily going down by some percentage.
Yeah, this is something we've talked about in the past, Doobie, is, everybody was quick to jump on it when it came back because everybody was dying for it. But now that they've done a year, and, I have friends that didn't get in for a month at a time because there were nothing available. Is that going to dissuade people from renewing? Is it going to cause the numbers to drop, like you said? And I think it will. So it'll be interesting to see how long it is until they start with the new sales again.
Right.
And Gio mentioned something that we were talking about just before we went on air, that the Magic Key terms and conditions have been updated. Interesting to note that it has terminology regarding class action in light of some of the headlines that have been around regarding the Magic Key program. So, I'll be interested to talk with those more knowledgeable than I on such matters. So just an interesting kind of nod there within the terms and conditions of your Magic Key. As always, as anybody would tell you, read your terms and conditions before you sign it. Don't just scroll and hit click. But I do anyway.
No one ever read a terms and conditions. So I went to YouTube today, and there was this cool video on Laughing Place that kind of goes through the changes. It was kind of like a news video.
Oh,
Is it an
and,
influencer?
yeah, I don't know who did it. But it was very well done.
the
And
voice was kind of deep, though. I appreciated that. It was very much like, hey.
Yeah, they've been working on that, whoever it is. So, but there was a comment on there by someone who was very disappointed that they couldn't have their annual tradition of going to Disneyland on Christmas and New Year's, and they said they were even willing to pay $3,000 or $5,000, maybe even $10,000 for a pass that included that. Which, put aside the fact you can just buy tickets those days and you'll get in for much less than that. But still, that is a great video. Who put together this footage? Anyway, especially with the narration that's going on right there, it really fit, almost as if it was intentional, even though I'm pretty sure it wasn't. So,
it was Doobie, everybody. It was Doobie that did that video. Just so you all know, it's Doobie.
I am a little bit surprised. At these prices, they're not as high as I would have guessed. They could have gotten more, I think, and to raise $200, the dream to the Inspire Key, I'm surprised it's not higher. And I'm surprised they didn't just say, hey, we're going to give you a pass with everything for $3,000, whatever the price is, $5,000, $10,000. They'll pay it. You can have a coupon day. Anybody else surprised that the price is either higher than you expected, lower than you expected? Because honestly, they're lower than I expected.
Yeah, I feel like they're lower than the old days when we used to have the updates. Like, I want to say we would even see up to $100 for some of the lower passes back in the day. So it's interesting, but I also think, again, the reservation system has been the holdback for a lot of this.
True.
What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty much, and price-wise, I think it's pretty much in line with what I would have expected. I mean, especially, I know, Rebecca, you shared that image that was floating around of people. It looked pretty convincing, like a convincing screenshot of some of the prices. And yeah, these are definitely not those. Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice if they didn't raise the price at all, just given everything that's gone on, but that's kind of unrealistic at this point.
Okay, so Gio is mentioning something that I consider kind of the elephant in the room. And that is this unfavorable mix thing. Okay, I've been listening to investors' earning calls with the Disney company for a very long time, having founded Laughing Place many years ago, and then getting to know Benji, and Benji kind of educating me as to how valuable that is as a Disney fan to pay attention to those earning calls. And okay, unfavorable mix, favorable, less favorable, more favorable. This is typical terminology within the earnings report. However, as somebody who's been listening to these calls, that type of blunt fiscal terminology hasn't been as typical in my experience within the call itself. The report, that document, if you were to look at it, has had these types of phrases. That's the language that's used there. I think the difference and why it's gaining so much traction is that type of kind of fiscal in-speak made its way into the earnings call. And I think those tended to be a little bit more massaged in a PR way previously and not as blunt. What are your thoughts, Kyle?
I think it just depends on when it comes up. Like like you're saying, it's been in the report before, but obviously it was a factor on Disneyland's earnings. They're like, yes, we had, they had to state that it was partially offset by the unfavorable mix. I think it's more that the fan community has caught on to these calls. I feel like we're the only ones that used to live blog it, and now it's every site is listening to them. So I think it's more just eyes on it than it is. And it's not a new term by any means. It's not a new thing. It's just, it's been brought to the attention, and people can spin it into something that they think means something more sinister than it is meant to.
It's the buzzword. Like, everybody is listening with a magnifying glass to anything that Bob Chapek says, just so they can find the next, hey, we're going to pick on Bob for this. I'm not defending him. I'm not defending the unfavorable mix terms that were used, but the magnifying glass has been focused much more on anything that is not the PR, the Disney Parks blog put out, so they can find this. Because this happened, the last year when there was something that Bob did say that everybody jumped on. So it is just the continual, we need to find the next reason to go after the next big person.
And I think for me, I'm waiting to see if this is telling about the general mindset of the leadership, because the fact that this type of blunt fiscal terminology wasn't as present in my mind in previous earnings calls versus now, I'm unsure if that's my rose-colored glasses or if it is kind of indicative of just a change in people have differing leadership brings with it certain persona, and I'm unsure how to interpret that currently. I guess I'm still waiting because of the COVID dynamics. I'm still kind of waiting. I don't necessarily agree with Tony's depiction here. I do think that this is I don't think that this is something new. I think that this is much more of, like I say, it was presented publicly facing that way, whereas before you found it kind of within documentation that was intended for the fiscal community. So, well, I mean, time will tell. So yes.
I think it is interesting. I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like there was a culture at some point that would not have allowed, and not even a rule, it's just the zeitgeist of the company, a culture where you would not in a public place say the word unfavorable when referring to a guest. It would never occur to you to do. It just was completely out of the culture of the company. You would never in public say such a thing. And I do wonder if that zeitgeist, if that internal culture has just shifted. And I would not be surprised if it hadn't. It doesn't mean it's, I'm not overstating what that means. I'm just saying, obviously Bob Chapek is gone. I'm sorry, Bob Iger's gone. A lot of people at those upper levels that were with Bob are gone. There are culture changes happening in the company. That's a fact.
Yeah, and I
think this may be a part of it.
Yeah, and I'm unsure. I mean, it's been such that I've been in a rabbit hole the past few hours. I've been kind of diving into, I've been doing, because you can get transcripts of the earnings call, and I've been kind of going through the transcripts of the earnings call, looking for certain terminology and looking at earnings reports, because I'm really curious if it's, like I say, if this is, if it's fair to kind of ascribe it the way Doobie is, or if there's a bit of personal editing because we are fans. And so, there's a tendency to look at things in a different way. I'm curious on your take on this, Kyle. Skywalking Through Neverland says, if they really wanted to get rid of pass holders, they should do away with the monthly payment option. Do you think that there is a goal of getting rid? I feel like that's kind of a messaging that's out there in the fan base, that they want to reduce, that they want to kind of quash the pass.
Well, they didn't have to bring it back at all. But no, I mean, I agree with this statement, and this has been mentioned in past, like people have, when Iger was there, this was a question in the shareholder meeting, was, hey, if your goal is to reduce the number of pass holders, why don't you take away that option? And obviously they're aware of that, and they've chosen not to do that. So I guess I don't know if it's the point to get rid of them. It's to there you go, we can combine it all. They're trying to get rid of the unfavorable ones. No, I don't.
Kyle Burbank
reduce it, but they don't want to flush everyone. I don't know what line exactly they're trying to walk, but I think the fact that even if it's not great, that people don't love Magic Key, the fact that they have it shows that they're not trying to flush it, because they could have just ended it at the annual pass thing.
I don't think they want to flush it completely, and to get rid of the monthly pay, you certainly would reduce the number, but I don't think you want to get rid of it and then bring it back, because then the people that shelled out all the money, they're going to feel bad. So I think they've made this, let's keep the monthly pay. We can remove passes, we can add passes. I feel like their annual passes are a spigot, and they always know.
It's a single rider line.
Yeah, if the daily numbers come back, if this post-COVID bump goes back down, they can always turn that spigot back on and get the parks filled up as much as they want to.
I mean, and then when they get too much, Christine McCarthy said.
I was going to say, and that's pretty much what the CFO, right? That's her title. Mm-hmm. The CFO said in the recent earnings call was
levers, I think is what they called them.
Was that
part? So I feel like
levers, I think is what
levers. They referred to as, because as Benji and I were talking about that a little bit yesterday. And if you think about it as a consumer, right? a Pirates of the Caribbean boat, right? Think of how many people fit in that boat. Well, you're going to have to pay a certain amount of operational cost for that boat to operate, right? So you want that boat to be as full as, as possible. And so so it's like you have to kind of think in those kinds of dynamics as well.
And they would prefer it.
Go ahead, GB.
I was going to say they would prefer it to be filled with Evian coming out of the spigot, but if they need to put some Dasani in there or even some tap water, they can always do it. It's still full. It may not be quite as valuable,
that cup be full,
but
right?
at least it's full.
The talk of getting rid of the monthly payments has been, 2 decades now? This has been the topic.
It's amazing.
It's not going to happen. They know that, yes, they'll get rid of the number of people that they want to get rid of, but then they'll also lose a lot more. And then, just like Doobie was saying, it's we just can't go back and redo it. And yes, Scott is completely correct.
There is nothing more valuable than a pass holder who never comes.
That describes Scott.
It's like that gym membership you can't cancel. I'm still paying Bally. Bally hasn't existed for 20 years. They're still getting $9 out of my account every month because I just don't know how to cancel at this point.
Oh man,
that sounds like Universal. By the way, we can talk about Universal and their past payment programs.
The other day, last night, I pulled up an old article. I want to say from maybe 1996 or 1997, talking about the pass holder program and how it swelled to 200,000 pass holders at Disneyland Resort under the Paul Pressler era. And it was in an article about pass holders, about these diehards who were upset over Paul Pressler and the Promote Paul Pressler website and everything. It was just, I was kind of revisiting my earliest days in this Disney fan community. And it was a fun retrospect because so many of the comments by these diehards was so similar to now, and also the discussion of the increase in pass holders and the impact on the resort is the same. It's very similar to what we're having now, and how many decades later. And I can only imagine how much larger that number is than even back then.
In my era, the rumor was 1 million.
Yeah, I want to say one of the last official numbers was over 1 million.
I've heard rumor.
That was a decade ago.
Take it for what it's worth. But I've heard rumor that even still, with no pass sales since May and with reservations, that on any given day, there's still about half the park that is Magic Key holders, which is mind-boggling.
So I think we've have we pretty much touched on this before we're ready to go on? I was just going to do a little recap before we move on to our other topics, if there wasn't anything else you guys had to add.
Just make sure in your recap you talk about the fact that no guarantees. Go ahead.
You give that caveat at the beginning before I go.
We just want to remind you guys that these are the 4 Magic Keys that are available now. There is no guarantee that any one of them will be available who knows when. We've seen them pull new purchases in the past, and our understanding is, based on demand, they may pull certain keys in the future. They may even pull all 4 keys in the future. They cannot say for certain that they won't pull all 4 keys. So when it's your turn to renew, get that renewal done as quickly as you can. Go, Rebecca.
So that was it. We have 4 keys. We have the Inspire key. We no longer have a 365 accessibility key that previously had been called the Dream key. That key is no longer an option with the 2022 announcement. Yes, Mr.
Oh no, I'm just doing the countdown.
Oh, okay. So we've got the Inspire key. We've got the Believe key. This has been previously offered, but now we have a price increase. You can check on the various elements of the Believe key. We have the Enchant key, and we have the Imagine key, which is the Southern California resident key. So you can see all the information on these various keys on Laughing Place. We have an article offering you a recap of what's available from them.
And a great video.
And there's also a video on this very YouTube channel with it as Skywalking Through Neverland says apparently they were prescient in their
Not true.
name. 365 is now truly just a dream.
You can pay for those 12 days. They're not keeping you from going. They just want you to go as Evian, not as tap water. That's all. You can always be Evian. You can be what you want to be, Skywalking.
I'm sorry, you're going the wrong way, Doobie. It is either Smart Water or Dasani. You got to stay, corporate there.
Believe it or not, there is other Disney news, and we are going to touch on some of those stories. We've not got a whole lot going on. Are you going to stick around for the rest of our discussion, Kyle?
Sure.
Awesome.
Apparently, Doobie's nodding, so I guess.
We're starting off with the Boardwalk Deli. It opened at Disney's Boardwalk. I'm excited about this. Were you the one who got to go take these pictures?
Don't be excited at all about this, please, Rebecca.
Why?
I was excited until I noticed it had a month refurbishment.
I am not going to lie. The inability to have like just a deli sandwich easily at Walt Disney World has been a personal frustration.
Okay. Yes, there is a Reuben. Yes, they have the pickle. As far as the refurbishment goes, this is Boardwalk Bakery. If you look at pictures from 2 days ago when they were up there painting the sign to get rid of the bakery and put deli, once you walk inside, there is little to no change inside. It is still quick service, but the downside is you order that hot Reuben. It took us 10 minutes to get the sandwich yesterday. And there were people sitting next to it. We were talking to other, I understand, but they're also making them fresh. So it will take a while. This was never designed to be a more than a quick service. So
Tony, can you get us that picture?
Are they still using, so it's because it's a deli, but they still have some bakers, they're still using that show kitchen there? Because that was part of the refurbishment when they remodeled probably like a decade ago. My wife used to work there. So she was part of that.
Yeah, breaking news.
Yes. Oh no, Funko's put out a whole bunch of D23 stuff over the past few minutes. I actually got Luke on that before we went on, so he should be having those photos up pretty soon.
And other breaking news.
There's some great Emperor's New Groove stuff.
And 11's going to Purdue.
He's so cute. You want that, don't you, Dewey? You're Mr. Plate guy.
I am, I'm so, other than meeting people, the thing I'm most looking forward to at the expo is seeing Walt's plane.
Yeah.
And yes, I own no Funkos, but if I had that one, not only would I buy it, I would open it, Jeremiah, and put it on my mantle outside the box, because that's how I think.
Nope, I have no Funkos open to grab. Sorry. So the deli, they still have the production kitchen, yes. They have seating in front of it, so we don't have any good views of it. It's nice.
Jeremiah just likes to rain on my parade.
The food was very good. I will say the food was very good.
Had a Reuben, a chicken salad wrap.
Oh, the chicken salad wrap was really good.
Did you eat it while sitting in the scary chair, as you were told?
No, I did not sit in the scary chair. Sorry. But no, when I originally heard the Boardwalk Deli, when I walked in, it was still the Boardwalk Bakery, just couple of little small rethings, adding the sandwich.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
They put things of provolone in the case.
But no, the food was great. Sadly, it is still, that's where you go to get your refills for your mugs. So it's very crowded in the exit area waiting for the food. People come in to get the mugs. But they are redoing the cake shop, or building the cake shop in the former ESPN. They're working on that entire area, so hopefully it will open up a little bit more and turn into a nicer area.
Okay, well, you went to Mickey's Not So Scary Party. Do you have nice stuff to say about it?
I had lots of fun, even with the rain.
What was it like seeing Max?
I think that's a sore point, right, Mr.
Yes.
Jeremiah? Why don't you tell everybody about your disappointing weather experience at Mickey's Not So Scary?
So the weather, I knew, it was great because I was walking around with an umbrella the entire day, and I had other people that I know, why are you carrying an umbrella? when the downpour started 5 minutes after the first Hocus Pocus show started, and while I was waiting for the parade, I was completely happy. I didn't have to go buy a new poncho or an umbrella. They canceled the first parade. They canceled the first two Hocus Pocus shows. The fireworks went off. The parade went off. The second or the last Hocus Pocus show, I don't know how far it made before they canceled it because I was there. It was at midnight, and they pushed it back. And I admit I had to leave because I was a little exhausted. Made it halfway down Main Street. The rain had started again, and by the time I made it out of the park, the rain had definitely gotten to the point where I had to cancel it. But Max, everybody was very excited about Max as Powerline and the 90s dance crew with them for the pre-parade. And when I say pre-parade, I mean in that scene in Jerk where if he doesn't guess your weight correctly, he gets to choose between this spot and this spot, which is about 3 inches. I think that's about as far as Max performs on Main Street. The pre-parade is only on Main Street, and from what I understand, it's towards Center/Flower Street down to the town square. It is not in the hub. It is not along the parade route in Frontierland, as many of the cast members were saying it is.
Was that not a weather-related? Wait, was that not a weather-related choice? That is an operational choice.
That is operational from everything that I have gotten so far. He is only on Main Street down on that side. He comes out and dances the rest of the parade.
So is there a Headless Horseman still?
There was not that night. I believe that there is, but the rain, they weren't going to put him out there.
Right. I wondered if because this was like the pre-parade, whether that part of the pre-parade extravaganza was no longer.
I'm going back again tonight. Hopefully we'll have more answers. I definitely am not just going to rely on a normal cast member along the parade route that is supposed to know these things. Some of the additions that are amazing are these backdrops. I love these backdrops. When I walked in, I only saw the Sleepy Hollow one, and I don't remember what the other one was. Oh, the Hocus Pocus 2 in Liberty Square. This is near the bathrooms at Tomorrowland and Main Street. And then when the party started, they opened up the old Stitching Counter pre-show area that had the Mr. Toad and the Monsters, Inc., which was great because nobody knew it was there. There were no signs. Again, the cast members the first night weren't kind of letting people know. And then that one is by far my favorite, and that was over in the Adventureland area in the old shop. And they actually had a PhotoPass person there for that one.
Cool. I like it's nice. It's got a little spooky, the 50th logo. And as Jeremiah mentioned, he's going to be returning to the Not So Scary. So we will be, checking into information. Hopefully he will be able to determine for sure things about weather related, because there seems to be a variety of reports out there. And as he mentioned, the first night, it's sometimes more challenging to get clear, reliable data throughout the event. So he'll be stopping by again so that we can let you all know where you can find Powerline, Max, where a little bit more about other offerings from the Not So Scary. Anything, other than these photo ops, what else, Jeremiah, was unique to this year's offerings that kind of caught your eye?
Not much other than the bag is very nice. In the past few years, the bag they give you for the trick-or-treating is just a plastic advertisement for the year. This is almost more of a canvas bag, but they were very strict in the past. You could get multiples. This, they were limiting to, you can only have one. And that's on one side, and then the other is the 50th logo. Other than that, Jungle Cruise is open, which is one of the first times in a long time that's been open for Not So Scary. And as the first night was a complete sellout. I will say, in comparison to past years when it has been sold out, it felt at least 50% less crowded. Like, it was very nice. It felt like the old days where you could definitely go and enjoy a lot of it without waiting in long lines. Jungle Cruise was walk-on for most of the night. Pirates had a 30-minute wait, which was really turning out to be like 15 because there is no lightning lane. And again, they've done what they're calling now the Halloween twist attractions, which is Space Mountain, which is Space Mountain in the dark, complete dark, with the spooky soundtrack that they put on in the past years. Mad Tea Party with the enhanced lighting package. Pirates of the Caribbean with the additional pirates along the route, which was fun because we have a full video of that up on our YouTube channel that has the pirates interaction in the queue and on the ride. And then the Monsters Inc. laugh floor, which we also have up there, which isn't a full attraction. It's kind of, you go through your trick or treat. When you come in, you get your trick or treat. You can sit, and then they'll bring out some of the monsters, tell some fun jokes, make fun of the audience, that kind of stuff. And then you can go out and get more treats as you exit. So it's really candy at the beginning, eat, candy at the exit.
And Jeremiah does have tons of videos. You got the parade, the fireworks, Hocus Pocus, Monsters Inc., Pirates of the Caribbean. He also just did a new video of Haunted Mansion, which is not directly related to Halloween, but somehow themes. So definitely check out our YouTube channel. And by the way, a great walkthrough of the deli. Nice job there, Jeremiah. Check that out on YouTube.
Thanks.
In other parts.
You got to get back to that Skyliner story.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
You're not going to be here for that week, dude.
I don't care. It's the most depressing story I've ever seen. The Skyliner is closing for a week.
So you'd rather it fall apart from not having maintenance and then complain about that when it has a longer downtime?
You're mistaking me for a regular annual pass holder. I would not complain. I would applaud them for keeping it running as much as possible.
Evian, not Cap.
Why can't they just shut down one line? Or I don't think this is necessary. I'm just going to say that. This is a Bob Chapek move. The Skyliner should be running every single day of the year.
Yeah, such a Bob Chapek move to spend money to keep the things in top order.
That's right.
That's what he's known for, is just spending that money recklessly.
Michael Eisner never wasted time or money on maintenance. I guarantee you that.
Hey, let's talk about a Columbia ride.
No. No.
Oh.
Too soon?
You're fired. You're fired.
Now let's see. Over at Walt Disney World, Jeremiah very wisely made sure to let everybody know that the 16-month calendar is now available. Hooray! So keep your eye on Shop Disney. Hopefully it'll be popping up over there very soon.
And buy it through us.
Disneyland vacation packages to be available this week. As always, we recommend our friends over at Mouse Fan Travel.
Yes, we do.
For all your travel needs. So
if we could put a link in the chat, Becky.
And then I don't think I can do that right now.
And Becky's then in our chat.
Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights information is out there. We've also got Knott's Scary Farm. Is it still called that?
Yes.
Okay, that is
and
also
we
been
actually
posted
just
on the
got
site.
Information about the Montezuma's Revenge update. We just put up an article about that, which randomizer, forwards or backwards?
And in regards to the upcoming D23 Expo, which is now 22 days away, Ben and I had a little chat yesterday talking about the schedule. He offered a few little pointers and tips on how he would weight it in kind of a fantasy football style, trying to optimize your chances discussion. But mostly we talked about the schedule, maybe some of the things you could expect if you chose some of the items on that list that's out there now. Expo can't wait. And remember, the it looks like the date closes on Friday, I believe, is the last information I saw for that. So be sure to check the Expo site.
No advantage to getting in early. It's completely random. So
so
by
just make
Friday,
sure
go through there. And that is not only the panels, that is also if you want to sign up to try to win a Pixar ball, which is like the #1 thing on there.
And meet and greets.
Yes, you can sign up to meet and greet Doobie and Gideon and Kyle.
No, that's not.
I did want to.
Oh, that's not on there. You just show up at the booth at Laughing Place booth. Doobie, Gideon, Kyle, Becca.
And at a different booth, I suspect WW Radio, you'll be able to meet Becky. So remember, if you don't get into the panel you want to get into, there is so much fun to be had on the expo floor. Don't worry, don't fret, don't FOMO at the mouth. Just enjoy the floor, come meet everybody, and have a good time with us. And we're giving away so much free stuff, and we're pushovers. Come over and say, I love Laugh and Play so much. Oh, here, take this, please, take this.
And especially by the end, if you come on Sunday, like just before the floor closes, and you have space for that box that we still have back there, you're getting that too. You mentioned
Is Becky still on the
Radio.
screen for everybody?
No.
The comments gone for you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Becky, if you could post the link in the chat to...
She can't.
She
This is a Laughing Place channel, and I haven't made her a moderator.
Wow.
Stop suggesting it.
It just won't be clickable. She can say it.
Lou Mangello, our friend and fan of Laughing Place. He'll pretty much be live streaming the entire time he's there, so it's always fun to walk behind. It's like you're on the news behind him, just waving. Do that stuff. Hold up the Laughing Place rock sign.
No, don't do that.
I do that.
The Halloween stuff we talked about, the Universal and Scary Farm, we're going to talk more about that on our next show. So we do want to give that its proper time, because here on Disney Parks Talk Live, it is important to us to talk about Halloween at other theme parks. Thank you. Mouse Fan Travel is the location you want to go to. My screen is all messed up. I thought it said Mouse Ran Travel, but it just cut off. Quick, Becky, register it just in case.
Oh, Gio, you have your panels all set. I look forward to hearing from you around September 2nd, I think is what they said, is when we will find out it says beginning. So I'm not exactly sure what that means as far as actual finding out, but around that first week of September, I'm looking forward to hearing what you were able to collect in regards to your panels.
Was also the announcement about live streaming of some of the panels that will be happening through Disney Plus and
in all seriousness, I don't plan on going to very many panels at all, but the show that Benji and Rebecca did yesterday, for those of you who are trying to reserve panels, it is extremely helpful in helping you understand what some of these panels are, and more importantly, in letting you know which ones, through a lot of experience, this is our 7th expo, which ones are more likely to sell out, where the value is, which ones are in venues that are so large that you're probably okay, which ones are probably just a screening, so you don't need, it's not that as important to be in there. Just a lot of valuable information to help you make your decisions here, so you don't end up wasting your picks on something that you didn't need to. So I highly recommend everyone take an hour, go watch that. I think it'll be well worth your time. Do that before you make your schedule. And even if you've made your schedule, you can still change it. So really recommend that. And yes, Nikki B, I will see you at the Hulu dance party. Have a good old time. So
wait, you're going to be,
it was a good show.
You're going to hula hoop?
No, Hulu, not hula. Hulu dance party. I'm looking forward to it.
Not only does D23 have trivia on the schedule, but I know Laughing Place will be offering trivia throughout the expo. But you have to follow us on Twitter or Instagram. That's where you're going to find the trivia. You'll find it at the booth as well. But
Mostly
our
Fridays
Instagram and our Twitter accounts will be trivia fun. Yes, Kyle?
Oh, I said mostly Friday and Sunday. Is what I read.
Mostly Friday and Sunday. That's true.
We should do a live broadcast of DTL from there with like the audience walking by, and if the internet's good enough, you never know.
Hey, I was going to say, you always know that the expo Wi-Fi is the best.
Did you almost say the prison Wi-Fi?
No.
Okay.
As we wrap up, once again, want to remind you, we started this Parks Talk Live, and that is the Disneyland Resort announced their Magic Key renewal information. So if you are someone who has a Magic Key and are looking for that information, be sure to check out Laughing Place. We have the information you need in regards to that. If you are somebody who doesn't have a Magic Key, I'm sorry, they're currently not offering new sales. And they did make a point of letting us know that these Magic Keys are not a guaranteed renewal. So if you are someone who very much values your Magic Key and you see that the renewal is available when that 30-day window opens for you, obviously the advice is to snag it, because that doesn't necessarily, just because you have one now doesn't necessarily mean that renewal will be available to you. That is a window that can close. This is a new element of annual pass holder nests that we haven't really ventured into before. So,
Magic keyness.
No. Yes, I get it. It's a magic key, but this is the same mentality. That's why
there's been no update about Walt Disney World at all on any of this. That's one of the things that we also need to talk about is Walt Disney World is still in the we don't know what's happening with our annual passes phase.
But renewals are still available at Walt Disney
Correct.
World. Yes, if you have one at Disney World, you can still renew. Nothing has been announced regarding that. New passes are not available right now at Disney World.
And as always, we are available through Twitter, through Laughing Place, through Facebook, through Instagram with our Laughing Place moniker. And if you have questions regarding the D23 Expo, most of our team has been to all of them so far. So we're happy to answer questions based on our experiences. There is a little bit of difference in the operations of them this year. So to some extent, it'll be educated guessing. But yes, Mr. Doobie.
I didn't want. It sounds like you're wrapping up, and I didn't want to totally wrap up. There's a question I really want to ask everybody, if I can.
Okay.
Today is National Roller Coaster Day, so don't want to spend a lot of time, but I do want to know from all three of you, four if you include me, your favorite roller coaster and your favorite Disney roller coaster. Jeremiah, go.
Twisted Colossus, Six Flags Magic Mountain is probably the best coaster I've ever been on, and best Disney coaster is easily Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind,
Kyle,
which is up there for top coaster ever also.
I don't really like roller coasters. So, I mean, I guess the best one I've been on, probably Disneyland Space Mountain would be up there. Or Paris's Big Thunder.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. You can show off your international, even though you don't like coasters. Rebecca?
I think my favorite roller coaster experience ever is Apollo's Chariot at Williamsburg, Virginia. And let's see. As far as Disney coasters go, I think I'm still a Big Thunder Mountain Disneyland gal.
Really?
Yeah, after all said and done, I think I think that's where I'm still at.
My favorite Disney, if I could pick one to go on tomorrow, I probably would pick Rock and Roller Coaster because I do like to go upside down.
Really?
I thought you were saying Slinkies.
No, I honestly might pick Slinky. That's what I was trying to decide between. Also, California Screamin' is really good too, or whatever they call it now.
But classic, no, see, for me, classic edition. That's where I run into challenges because it's like I like Space Mountain with the Dick Dale soundtrack, but not now. You know,
but my all-time favorite Disney though is probably Matterhorn. I still love Matterhorn.
I was going to say, isn't it Space Mountain with Red Hot Chili Peppers, Doobie?
No.
And then overall, Anita says The Beast at Night, best coaster ever. Overall, Everest is good too. Overall, I think, what's the one at Dollywood, the Fire Chaser Express that we rode a million times?
Wait. Wait, is that I mean, do you really mean Fire Chaser? The one with where you have the fireworks factory?
Yeah, where you go backwards at the end.
Yeah.
I really need to go to Dollywood, apparently.
What?
I should have gone for Fire in the Hole at Silver Dollar City.
Is that similar?
It's not
It's the same as whatever. There's one that's very similar at Dollywood with just some quick dips and some really bad animatronics. Yeah.
Anita says Disney. Anita says Guardians for Disney, which might be mine once I finally get to ride it. Geo goes with Mamba, which was Busch Gardens, Tampa, I think, and Everest. Or Mamba. No, that's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I thought Jeremiah's favorite was Iron Gwazi, since he said that defined roller coaster.
Iron Gwazi is the ultimate, but if I had to go between Iron Gwazi and Twisted Colossus, because Twisted Colossus is a longer and more, I think it's more the old school because the Colossus is one of the original coasters of way back when, and they did such an amazing job of changing it. But yes, it
Okay,
still
wait,
does
hold up
define
before
it.
GB says anything. Mamba is at Worlds of Fun in downtown Kansas City. It was introduced in 1998, and it was the tallest and fastest in the world when it was introduced. Steel coaster, looks like my kind of thing. 205 feet up the first hill. You're going
Hypercoaster.
75 miles an hour. I like hyper coasters, the up and
Millennium
down. I do not like to
Force.
go upside down. I like up and down.
Oh,
That's
like I've done Desperado at.
I've done that. I've done that Desperado. And then I had a room right by the down.
May it R.I.P.
Two quick things. One, you cannot mention Apollo's Chariot without me thinking of Fabio getting a seagull in his face. And two, fun Colossus story. Back when I was a teenager and went there, I was one of those people that tried to get on and they couldn't get the lap bar down, and I had to take the walk of shame. Anything else anybody want to mention before we start to close off the show? All right, so I did want to mention real quick.
We can bring this down, Doobie.
I'm like, I'm not really sure where to go with that, honey.
Do I seem upset about it? It's a part of life.
Nope.
Well, it's a part of my
But
life.
don't worry. Next time you go,
We're
you
all
won't
awkward.
have to worry about it. Me and you can ride Twisted Colossus over and over again.
Do you see how much bigger his shirts all hang on him now? It's so cute.
All right, so coming up at 4 p.m., we have Barely Necessities starring the wives of the two handsome men in the middle right there. And among the things you'll be seeing, I'm guessing, are these cool new Funkos I'm going to give you a quick preview of. Quicker if I had my new computer arrive yesterday like it was supposed to. I'm talking to you, FedEx. So we've got a few Funkos that are becoming.
That one's really
at the
cute.
Expo, and I'm just going to give you quick views. You'll be able to get lots more on Barely Necessities later. If you enjoyed this edition of Disney Parks Talk Live, and you're like, where has this thing been all my life? We've been on Mondays at 4 p.m. Pacific. This was a special edition, but Mondays, 4 p.m. Pacific, that's where you can find us. Disney Parks Talk Live. If you don't like Kyle, you're in luck. He's not normally a part of it. Instead, we have Mike Celestino, our West Coast correspondent. So make sure you check this out, Monday, 4 p.m. If you do like Kyle, I'm sorry. Just let us know, and we'll do more to get him on regularly.
Wait, are you sorry that they like Kyle? Because I like Kyle.
Doobie too,
Do
Becky.
you like Kyle more than if the three of us had to vote, Kyle or Mike, what would we vote?
No. This is
I'm
not a
not
conversation
doing
for on. Nope.
All right. And then tonight, hopefully at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, we'll be doing Disney Trivia Live. If once again, FedEx, I'm talking to you, but we're going to try to make it happen.
He is so bitter.
So
So
you know, we could track your FedEx shipment.
if you're just joining us, this has been Disney Parks Talk Live. We've started off talking about Disneyland's Magic Key announcements. You'll rewind to the beginning, check it. We've got all the deets there. Then we also talked a little bit about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, a little bit about Universal. All of that information is available on Laughing Place. We also have a short video about the Magic Key program on our YouTube channel.
An amazing video. Must see.
5 minutes.
We've recently discussed the D23 Expo schedule, so you have a little bit more knowledge as you get ready to make your reservations before the Friday deadline. And today at 4 o'clock, we'll be back right here on this very channel talking live about Disney merchandise. So much has been coming out, and a lot of D23 reveals are beginning to make their way online as well.
So thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, Kyle, for stepping in. He's our managing editor. He is so incredibly busy today. And for him to take 63 minutes out of his schedule, thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank
it was
you,
fun
Kyle.
having you.
Thanks.
Thanks,
And,
everyone, for watching. We'll see you all
always
next
take
week.
to end our broadcast when we have the most listeners we've had all session. But it's time to go. Hit rewind.
Bye.
And Dewey froze. That's perfect. Can you